Good morning. I'm Kathy. Today we're going to do a class that's focused on core strength and mobility. So if you know me, you know my philosophy for yoga practice is stability, mobility, and flexibility. We all dearly want those things. We need them for our daily life, and I thank God every day that I've been maintaining mine, and it really is due to yoga. What you don't use, you can't use. Okay, so we want to make sure that we don't have to run marathons or be triathletes, but we do want to keep ourselves mobile, stable, and flexible. So welcome everybody, and again, as in every class, just, you know what to do. I know you're not beginners. If there are any beginners in the class, my cueing is usually helpful. So just follow me and back off when you need to. Even you gurus, back off when you need to. You know that. So let me just take a look at my notes here. So we're going to concentrate on the core and the hips and moving that hip joint, that ball and socket joint, so that we can not only understand our range of motion, but perhaps work on increasing our range of motion. It's good for our balance, it's good for our flexibility, and therefore it's good for our mobility. Okay? And don't forget that the core goes all the way from above the knees to right below or at the chest. So we're talking about quads, hamstrings, the gluteal muscles, the medial muscles here, the abdominals. It's not just it's not just having a strong abdomen. Okay. We're also going to be doing today a little bit of a plank challenge. I've been challenging myself to go more and more breaths in plank, sort of a little self-challenge. Okay. The other thing is, and I know some of you golf and may play pickleball and swim and everything else, is that, our yoga practice lends itself toward preventing injuries in other sports. All right, because we do have that flexibility, we do have that mobility, and we do have that range of motion. Okay, so today we're going to start on our backs, and I think the first part I'm going to stay seated so I can speak into the microphone here. But lay on your back, and you can have your legs bent or straight, doesn't matter, depends on how your back feels today. And just a big part of getting into a yoga pose is breathing and relaxation. If we hold our breath, if we tense muscles, we're setting ourselves up for possible injury. So we want to make sure that our breath flows, that we have a feeling of relaxation as we go into the yoga poses. So we feel like it's a guilty pleasure to be relaxed in yoga, but it's all about breathing and relaxation. So just let yourself land on the mat. Take this hour and 15 minutes for yourself. Try to leave everything at the door and really be mindful in your yoga practice today. We're going to start by drawing our attention to the abdomen. So feel the breath flowing into the abdomen gently rising and falling with the breath. Feel all the sensations in the abdomen with the breath. Take a couple rounds right here. And now move your awareness up to the rib cage. Feel the rib cage expanding with the breath. Very subtle. Feel all the sensations in and around the rib cage. Don't have to have a pattern to the breath, just observe without judgment. And now move your awareness to the chest, top of the lungs, gently kissing the clavicles, the collarbones as you breathe in. Feel the breath travel all the way from the abdomen through the rib cage to the chest. Feel all the sensations in the chest. And stay here for 3 rounds of breath. And just continuing to observe the breath, feel yourself relax. Feel yourself getting poised for your yoga practice. Set an intention if that's in your practice. Sending healing love and energy to Sharon Muller, still in the hospital after her stem cell transplant. She's been quiet the last couple of days, and usually she's not that quiet, so we're sending her all the love and energy that we can. So remaining on your back, we're going to start in the supine position. So that's on the back. We're going to begin by bringing the right thigh right into the abdomen. So press gently on that shin with interlaced fingers. Flex the foot. The left foot can be on the mat or to increase the stretch a little bit. And we're just starting out, so be careful. You can slide your left leg out, flex that foot as well. And then very gently, not allowing your leg to snap back in any way, but just very gently releasing that right leg. And again, choosing the position for your right leg, either bent or straight. Bring up that left leg, even pressure into the descending side of the colon. So maybe in 2 weeks, we'll do our digestive series again. Just as a reminder, there's no live yoga next Thursday morning. Going to be in transit from here to New York. Let the right leg join the left leg here. Press both thighs into the abdomen. Maybe rock from side to side a little, getting a gentle massage in that lower back. And spread the knees a little bit wider. And then place the left leg down, the right ankle on the left knee. And we're going to take our right knee down to the right and then back up. So we're not, this is a dynamic stretch. So we're rotating the head of that femur in the hip socket. So press that knee out when you're to the right. Bring it towards your left armpit when we come over to the left. A little bit of a twist here as well. Open up the hip. Let the thigh come to the ground, and then press that right knee towards your left arm. Couple more here. Really you're getting the quad and the hamstring involved here as well, but we're actually focusing on the hip joint. Couple more. And come to center. Just let that knee hang out for a round of breath. And then switch legs. So make sure that left foot is flexed. We're going to bring the left knee down to the left. And then press that left knee towards your right wrist. So my arm is out to a T, a little bit of a T. And I'm heading my left knee toward my right wrist when my legs are to the right. If this bothers your right knee, I notice mine is talking to me a little bit. Kind of back off a little bit. Maybe don't go down so far when your knees are to the left. Take care of your body. My sister and I were talking about joint replacement surgery last night. And I hope to God, I've had both rotator cuffs fixed, but I have all my other original parts and I want to keep it that way. A couple more here. Gently moving back and forth. Let it be a meditation in motion. Keep breathing. And one more. And let your knee hang out just for a moment here. Keep that foot flexed. Let me look at my notes. Okay. Bring the soles of the feet together. The outer edges of the feet on the mat, just for a couple rounds of breath here in supine butterfly. And then raising those feet up, if you can take your hands around your feet, knees pointing toward the ceiling. Keep your tailbone in balance, so not pointing up too much, not pointing down too much. Press the soles of the feet together. Move the knees closer to the wall in front of you. So hips, inner thighs, maybe a little isometrics for the arms. Keep breathing, nice deep breaths here. Tuck your chin, don't let the head go back too far. Scrunching that cervical spine, we don't want to do that. And then again, gently, not allowing the legs to snap. Let go of those legs. Place the left sole of the foot on the mat. Bend the right knee at about 90. And let's make big circles. Really moving that the head of that femur in the hip socket now. Don't go too fast. So we're looking at our range of motion here. We're thickening up that synovial fluid, which is our natural cushion in the joints. So notice how the hip feels. Mine is clicking a little bit. I hate that. But it's not a cause for concern. Please, if anything hurts, do not do it. Do something else. Let's go one more time in this direction. And then let's rotate in the other direction. So we're not making circles. We're not leaving our hips out of this equation. Okay? The main goal in this movement is rotating the head of that femur in the joint. Couple more rotations. And then place that foot on the mat and just in between legs, because we're going to go over to the other side. We'll windshield wiper the knees back and forth here just for a sec. And then bringing up the left leg, right foot on the mat. And begin to make those circles. So really bring your attention to that hip joint and picture that ball rotating in the socket here. Great move for not only assessing your range of motion, but working on keeping it where it is, if not improving it. Since we've been Zooming yoga, I've always had a problem with this rotator cuff even after it was fixed, and I notice it's a little bit better, a little stronger. Not sure why. One more rotation and pause for just a second, and let's go the other way. Keep the knee bent. Gives you a little bit more leeway in rotating that femur bone. Yeah, this one is clicking too. I hate that. Couple more rotations. And then place the leg on the mat. Let's rest our legs for a moment and just rock the head from side to side. Do a little bit of warm up for some other joints in the body. And then we'll continue on our journey for mobility and flexibility. So just rock the head from side to side. One more time, side to side, and then come to center, stop, and just tuck your chin, jut your jaw out, and then relax. Tuck your chin, jut the jaw out, and relax. Couple more times. Chin to chest, jut that lower jaw out, and relax. And one last time. I can't talk when I do it. Bring up the arms perpendicular to the floor. Rotate the wrists in any direction. Want to keep our hands nice and supple, nice and mobile. Do our everyday chores. Go the other way. Just a few rotations here. You can have your hands in a gentle fist. If your arms get tired, just bring them down. Doesn't matter if they're up here. Just gives the lymph a little more chance to flow back toward the chest. And then come to center here, starfish the fingers out. Really press those fingers out. Imagine energy streaming from each finger. And then bring the arms down. And we're just going to do this hinge joint, the elbow, okay? Just bring your hands up. We're not really focusing on the biceps here. You could if you wanted to, but we're just doing a little non-weight bearing for those elbows. Your arms can be up, okay? Just focusing on the elbows right now. Just a couple more. And let's see what we have next here. Oh, yes. So our last supine position, we're going to lift our legs. If you can bring your fingers onto the soles of your feet, holding onto the arches. Again, tip that tailbone into a balanced spot. Okay, flex the feet, open up the hips, let your knees melt down. Really surrender, allow your knees to get closer to the earth. Can rock side to side if you want to. That's not my favorite thing to do. But just send your breath to wherever you're feeling the sensations. Send your breath to wherever you're feeling the sensations. Nice deep breaths. We've got a lot of room for belly breaths here. Try to breathe into the back as well. And then letting the feet go. Let's come on over to our bellies into a prone position. Okay, so lying on the stomach. Before we begin anything, let's stretch your leg, one of your legs out. Try to reach that back wall with your heel. And then place the top of the foot on the mat. Same with the other leg. Reach, reach, reach. We won't let gravity win. We're not going to get shorter. I can't afford to get any shorter than I am. Place the top of the foot on the mat. Just feel your abdomen here. No bones in the abdomen, so we're directly impacting our abdominal organs when we squeeze them like this, okay? We call it sloshing. You can go back and forth or you can go horizontally. Sometimes I do this in lieu of taking an antacid, okay? Let's see. Let's reach back, take the left ankle in the left hand, quad stretch. Keep your shoulders down. Bring your shoulder blades together. Lift that quad just an inch, a half an inch from the mat. Let those quads stretch out. Remember to flex the foot. If full bow is in your practice, you could do that. Oh, I'm going to have you relax for a moment because I need to connect a charger here. Yeah, hang on. Got to do that. Okay. Sorry about that. I use my iPad so much that the batteries never. Let me make sure. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. Let's take our, if you're doing half bow, let's take our right ankle in our right hand, and again, press with your ankle into the fingers, pull your fingers towards your hamstring, and feel that quad stretch. If you're doing bow, you're also opening the heart, pressing the shoulders together, maybe rocking on the pubic bone. And gently let that leg go. Bend your legs and windshield wiper from side to side. So we'll do half frog from here. Bending the left leg. Place your knee on the floor, the inside of your foot on the floor. Your other leg, the top of the foot is on the floor. So you can place your upper body in any position that's comfortable. On an inhale, press that leg down. Feel the hip opening. Feel the glutes engage. Press, press, press as hard as you can without pain. And on your exhale, relax, 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 relax that lower back. It kind of gets you in a little bit of a twist here, so just be careful. And again, on the inhale, press down, press your leg out, press the inside of the foot onto the floor. Feel that hip opening ever so slightly. And exhale, relax. One more time, press into the floor, inhaling. If you've got full frog in your practice, you can try it or you can do it. I've tried it many times and it is a little painful, so I don't go there. And exhale, relax. Bring the leg in, maybe shake it out a little bit, lengthen it out, and then place it on the ground. Bringing the right leg up, flexing the right foot, positioning the body so that you're fairly comfortable. On your next inhale, press that leg down. Press, 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 press. And exhale, release, release, release everything. Try and release the lower back. Find ease before you go back into the half frog. Inhaling, engage the glutes and engage all the muscles of the legs. Press that foot into the floor and exhale, release. One more time, pressing that leg into the floor. Press, press, press. Exhale, release. Bring that leg gently back, lengthen it, place it on the floor, bend the legs again, and go from side to side. Just releasing that lower back. Getting ready for our next pose. Coming up into a seated position. My thing about the seated position is I bought this handy dandy little pillow at a thrift store for about $3. And I sit on the very edge of it just to bring my hips a little bit higher so that my pelvis rocks forward. And this is a very, very comfortable seated position for me. So find your comfortable seated position. And let's bring the soles of the feet together. Maybe put your thumbs in your arches, give your feet a little massage. Oh, I want a massage. I need to get one. And as we come to settle in, bound angle, Baddha Konasana here. As we inhale, find all the length you can in your spine. As you exhale, come patiently forward with a flat back. Come forward until you feel that first spot of resistance. Let your legs go if you can. No judgment here, just observation. When you feel that resistance, just pause for a moment. Take a breath, scan your body, see how you feel here. Forward fold helps us get rid of headaches, fatigue, and it's a pose that teaches us patience and acceptance. Takes us a while to fully get into the pose. Again, inhaling right out of the waistband here. Separate the crown and the sit bones. On the exhale, perhaps you can come down a little bit further. Try and release that lower back. Even imagining that lower back is releasing may allow you to come a little bit further. It's not about how it looks. It's about how you're flexing the spine. When you've reached your maximum stretch here, let the back round, let the crown of the head come toward the floor, and breathe into any area in the body where you feel sensations. Maybe in the inner thigh, maybe in your back. Nice deep breaths. Notice how the stretch intensifies when you inhale. Beautiful forward fold, mini inversion, flexing the spine forward. The spine loves these flexions. And on your next inhale, come on all the way up, nice and slow. And again, pause here, find length in the spine. Maybe close your eyes for a moment. Scan the body. We're going to move into hero pose. And I was researching hero pose this week because I'm looking at doing a sort of an in-depth class on posture and spine. And something very interesting about hero pose. So if you find this really, really uncomfortable, maybe you just want to come up to your knees, or you can put a pillow between your buttocks and your calves. Okay. The more you do this, the more you get used to it. It's a great stretch for the upper foot, for the tops of the feet. We want to sit up straight. Now, one of the things that we want to try out is, where is the sacrum? Okay, I don't know if you can see this. I hope you can. Now I'm pushing my sacrum back, like going into a cow. Okay, a seated cow, and I've got this overly deep trough in my lower back. We don't want that. Okay, and if I bring my pelvis into a cow position. Now, you see how I'm leaning forward here? That's not good either. So what you want to do in hero is kind of feel your buttocks on your heels, feel the optimum position where you feel really balanced. So we shouldn't be leaning forward, okay? So you're getting that widow's hump, you're getting I think they call it forward head. Or if you're pressing your tailbone back too far, you're getting too deep of a trough or a little tunnel here in your lower back, placing strain on your back. So just kind of play with it a little bit, okay? All the while we're sitting up straight, improving our posture. Posture is so, so important, especially in these days of sitting. It's even worse than when we were in our offices, okay, when we were working. So just take a couple of breaths here. And then we want to bring our legs to two right angles. So 50-50, or 90-90, not 50-50, 90-90. Place your body over the right hip or the right leg, okay? If your legs are to the left, then you can place it over your left. Again, find length in the spine, inhaling, letting that spine expand, and exhaling, coming very, very gently over that thigh. So you can use your pillow again here, or your blocks, coming down as far as you can. Okay, not because it looks cool, but for many, many other reasons. We're flexing the spine forward again. So you can round your back, you can put your forehead on a block, the mat, depending on where your body is and what your bone structure looks like. Keep your gaze on the floor, giving your abdominal organs another squeeze and soak here. Really, really good for the health of the organs. This is a meditative pose. Breathing gently in and out of the nose. Stay in the moment. Listen to your breath. Keep breathing. Stay here for 2 rounds of breath. On your next inhale, rise up. That's a song from Hamilton. You guys been watching Hamilton? I think I've watched it 7 times now. I got to get rid of my Disney Plus on Monday, so I'll be watching Hamilton all weekend. Come to the other side, okay? Maybe you want to shake out your legs a little bit. Again, both legs at 90 degrees. Find length in that spine. Find length in that spine. Position your chest right over that front leg. Shoulders back, nice deep breath. Inhaling, lengthen the spine. Exhaling, gently, gently, gently laying ourselves right over that thigh. Modified pigeon. Oh, feel the glute Gazing down at the floor, down at the fingers. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Keep breathing. Nice deep breaths. 2 rounds of breath right here. On your next inhale, come on up. And come into table. So I like to keep my blanket on the mat for table so I can protect my knees. And let's make sure we're in good alignment, that the bones are stacked for stability and for prevention of injury. Let's start out doing those cat-cows. Okay, look back, make sure you can't see your feet. That's a good point of alignment. Press into your finger pads. Feel how that energizes the arms. 2 really critical movements of the spine here. We've done some flexion forward already. And when we're in cow, we're extending the spine. So bring those shoulders down, let that spine curve, nice back bend. And then exhaling into cat. Just a couple more here. This gets the lymph system moving, energizes the arms. And come to center. We're just going to make a C curve with our body here. We haven't done any lateral stretches yet. Make these count. Focus on your obliques, okay? So we're using our side muscles to move ourselves from side to side, glancing back at the edge, the right edge, the left edge of the mat, the right foot, the left foot. 2 more movements of the spine, lateral left, lateral right. And let's come to center here. Bring your fingertips towards you. If you can't do this, it's just a little wrist relief. Bring your fingertips towards you. Press very gently down on the tops of the hands. Okay, you don't have to. Okay. But just a little wrist relief here. Maybe shake out the fingers and come on back into table. I'm going to raise my left leg, so you can start with left or right, doesn't matter. And again, we're going to move that hip, okay? And I feel like I'm drawing a circle on the side wall or the wall to my left. Sort of keep my foot oriented. Keep your foot flexed. Then moving that big ball and socket joint. And then come to center. Maybe your opposite glute is starting to talk. Mine is. Rotations here. The clicking is gone. Yay. Couple more. And come on down. Maybe shake out that other leg before we start. Loosen that glute up a little bit. And bring that leg up. And again, nice big rotation. Send your awareness to the hip joint. See how it feels. This one's harder because that glute cut. And go the other way. Trying to keep the arms aligned. Get some weight on the hand that's supporting your body with the leg lifted so you don't dump into the other side of the body. And then coming back, just sitting back a little bit, maybe not going back into child's pose all the way, but rounding the back, pressing the arms out in front of you, and then come down, not all the way down, but just lay the tops of your thighs on the mat. Pubic bone isn't even on the mat. Okay, so a little counter stretch for the lower back. Make sure there's a little bend in the arms, but they're close to the body. And then coming up again, bring the sole of the right foot onto the mat, 90-degree angle here, knee over ankle. We start off in a low lunge. Arrange your feet so that this guy is, the bent knee is above the ankle, and there's a psoas stretch here going on, okay? We're really gonna come down into lizard. If you don't want to do lizard, you can just stay in this position. If you want to go ahead and do lizard with me, we're going to bring our hands to the inside of the left foot. My left foot is forward. I'm going to tip my foot, tip my leg. My knee is out to the right. My right knee is out to the right. I'm up on the outer edge of my right foot. Where do you feel the sensations for this pose? You can bear down on that left hip. That's my straight leg. If you want, or you can come down to your forearms. It really intensifies the stretch. Don't do it if it gives you pain, okay? In yoga, we do not promote no pain, no gain, okay? We don't want anything to hurt, especially if it's an acute pain. And then coming up, can stay here for a moment. Can even do some yogi push-ups here. Elbows go straight back. Feel the strength of the arms and the shoulders. Up to you. I just felt like doing that. And then nice and gently roll that right leg over, and let's switch legs. So my right leg's going to come back. My left leg is going to come forward. And I'm going to position my right knee on the mat, the top of my right foot on the mat, making sure of good alignment. And we ensure our alignment not to look cool, okay, but to prevent injury and maximize the benefits of the pose, okay? So that's why all the cueing. It's not to look cool, although we look pretty cool, don't we? All right, feel that psoas on the straight leg. And then again, tipping that other leg over. I'm on my left leg is bent. And maybe have a little micro bend in your elbows, and you're not going to feel the same on this side than you felt on the other side. So check it out. Scan the body. See what's happening. Nice deep breaths here. I don't know if I can come down any further on this side. Oh yeah, okay. But remember, this intensifies the stretch quite a bit. So we want to be very careful when we're doing this. I'm actually rocking a little bit. I don't recommend bouncing, but I'm rocking, maybe the full rock is like a quarter or half an inch. Just rocking my knee out to the left and then coming back. And then very gently, watch that, both legs here. Come on back. Gonna sit in hero for just a moment. Shake out my arms, my wrists. Again, a good opportunity to seek balance with that pointing of the sacrum. Okay. Coming up to our knees. The knees are about hip distance apart, maybe even a little closer. If full camel is in your practice, you can do that. Or we're going to inhale the left arm up and come back to the left heel. Now, if you want to elevate your heels a little bit, you can curl your toes forward. Bring your fingertips to that heel. I do not recommend looking at the ceiling. The farthest I would go is where the ceiling and the wall meet, okay? Open up your shoulders. Even if you're in half camel, let that right arm, the very deep back bend here, heart opener, might feel a little vulnerable. And then inhaling that arm back up again, bringing it down to your side, uncurling those toes, and just take a breath here. Notice how your body feels. Mine's feeling very hungry right now. And let's come back up. Half camel on the right, inhaling the right arm up. I'm bringing my heels up, bringing that right arm back. My gaze is still forward, looking at the junction of the wall and the ceiling, opening my chest, not cracking my head back, keeping my chin tucked, and feeling that extension of the spine. We do a lot of forward folds. A lot of times we don't do the counter stretches as much as we need to. One round of breath right here in half camel. Keep the shoulders down. And come on up. Let that arm come all the way around. Come back into hero pose. Let me get a drink of water. Turn on my fan. Oh. Okay. Come on back into hero. If you hate this pose, you can sit any way you want. Going to take a break from the hips for a moment and focus on the shoulders just for a moment. So I'm going to rotate just like we did with our legs. We're going to rotate that whole shoulder girdle. Big, big circles if you can. Make them smaller if you need to. Doesn't matter. Again, encouraging that synovial fluid in the joint, making sure that we can move in all different directions with our shoulders. Come on down. Just take a breath. And then go the other way. Yoo-hoo! Feels different. Might open the chest deliberately and then open the back as you're doing this, sort of a seated cat and cow motion. You don't have to. Okay. Really focusing on the shoulders here. And one more. Bring the arms behind. Now, I can't do yoga nidra, or yoga mudra doesn't work for me. But if you have a strap, we're going to come forward, bringing maybe our forehead to the mat. I'm not going to go down that far. Yoga mudra, the clasped hands are coming toward the floor in front of your head. Okay, opening up the fronts of those shoulders. And coming up. I'm going to switch to the backs of our shoulders now. Holding the right arm out, pressing the hand gently on the upper arm and pulling that shoulder, okay? Pull it right towards your chest, toward the left, feeling the back of that shoulder opening up. Make sure that that shoulder doesn't creep up to the ear. Okay, this is a good tricep stretch as well. We want to open up the backs of those shoulders now. And releasing, inhaling, and exhaling that left arm across the chest, taking it gently in the right hand, pressing that arm into the chest and over to the right, opening up that left shoulder in the back. Nice deep breathing. Feel your shoulders, feel your spine. And release. Okay. Let's come to standing and find our foundation in mountain pose. Make those legs active. Press the heels down and away energetically. They don't move, but we're pressing out. Feel the medial muscles here engage. Again, with the sacrum, try and find a balance here. Okay, we always say tip the sacrum toward the mat, but we don't want to compromise that lower back. So find a good balance for you. Arms, shoulders are down, chin is level with the floor. I love mountain pose. Let's just take a couple of breaths right here. And I'm looking for my blocks because we're going to go down into a squat. So figure out what your stance needs to be. I never know what it is. So, it's a crapshoot every time. And just, if you can, okay, without supporting yourself, come on down into a squat. Now, as we've been doing these more and more, I'm getting to the point where I can put my heels on the ground. But today my left heel is not making it. So actually that feels very unbalanced. So I'm actually going to put a block below each heel. So here's the thing, in a squat, okay, we don't want to be like this. Okay, this is a good practice for crow. I haven't done crow in a long time. We should try that. Okay, want to have the same length in the spine. Feel the hips here, okay? Now, if you can manage it, come down a little bit and press those legs out with your elbows. Press the legs out with your elbows. You want to do a little bit of a balance challenge. Come off your blocks and onto the balls of your feet, okay? Onto the balls of your feet and then come way up on the balls of your feet. Yahoo! Listen, I can't afford any more falls. I already got one black eye. Okay. So with our gaze down at the floor, let's lift up a little bit. Bring the toes forward. Forward fold. So again, patience and acceptance. Feel the hamstrings here. We did a quad stretch when we were on our bellies. Now we've got a hamstring stretch going. We've got an inversion going, okay? Head lower than the heart. Maybe you have a little micro bend in your knees. It's up to you and your body. Take a breath here and walk your hands over to the outside of the right ankle. Your breathing might get a little compromised as we're kind of twisting the organs together. If this is really uncomfortable or your breathing is really compromised, come back to the center. And then walk yourself gently over to the left side. Feel that hamstring. Feel the twist. Couple of breaths right here. And then walk yourself over to the center. And again, come down into your most comfortable squat. Okay, so that my heels are off the ground, but we're not going to be here very long. I'm going to challenge. We got a little challenge. The challenge is to rise up on the balls of your feet and just come to standing. Okay, so I think I can do this. Okay, use the power of your legs. Up on the balls of your feet, stretch and down. I wasn't really up on the balls of my feet that long. Okay. So a nice wide stance this time. Okay, nice wide stance. Arms out. Engage all the muscles of the body. Well, maybe keep your face soft, but imagine energy streaming out the fingertips. Really engaging those arms, engaging those legs, abs in and up. Shoulders down. Hinge at the hips on the next exhale. Hinge at the hips, come down flat, 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 flat back. Okay. Keep your arms at shoulder level. Stretch them out. Feel those biceps. Feel those biceps. Bring the right hand down to the center. Maybe you come down to the mat. Maybe you come down to the floor. And raise that left arm up for a twist. We haven't done any twists yet. Those are the 5th and 6th movements of the spine. Try and keep the back, shoulder blades down. Gaze can be anywhere. It doesn't have to be on the ceiling. Bring the left arm down, the right arm up, flat back again. Really press those arms out. Press the outer edges of the feet into the mat to raise the arches. Left hand in the middle, right hand, spiral around to the right. Again, you can be looking up or down. Press those fingertips right up to the ceiling. If that's hard for you, put your hand in the small of your back and spiral that shoulder open. Open up that shoulder in the front. And then come down. Flatten out your back. Your arms can be on above your knees if you want, lightly on the thighs. Crown of the head and the sit bones separating from each other. Inhaling here and exhaling. Crown of the head pointed right toward the floor. Another inversion, another forward fold. Take a nice inhale and exhale right here in wide angle forward fold. On your next exhale, use your back muscles to pull yourself all the way up. Keep your stance where it is. Pull yourself all the way up. Bring the shoulders back and down. Couple of nice deep breaths right here. Now you may have to shorten your stance a little bit to go into goddess. So again, find that balance with the sacrum. Bend the knees and inhale the arms up into goddess. Using the power of your inner thighs, that is bringing the inner thighs together. Okay, bringing the inner thighs together. Squeeze, 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 squeeze up until you just have a micro bend in the knee. And then come on back down with the exhale. Maybe going down even further, balancing that sacrum. Again, squeeze those inner thighs, squeeze them together, squeeze them together. And exhale down. One more time. Squeeze those inner thighs together. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And exhale the arms down. Take a breath here. Shake out your feet. Oh, let's see what time it is. Okay. One last standing pose. A little bit of a balance here. Gonna pour your weight onto your right leg. You can have your arms out to the side. Bring the left foot, left ankle over the right knee. You can bring your hands to the small of the back. You can bring them up into a big Y. Keep the shoulders down. A little bit of a challenge. You can bend your right knee and start doing a forward fold over that left leg. Do what I say, not what I do. Look back at your right toes. Ungrip them from the mat. And then come on up. Shake out that right leg. Yay. Okay. Bring the weight to the left leg. Make a 4 here. Right ankle over the left knee. And again, you can do whatever you want with your arms. And let's try and bend that left leg. Increasing the stretch. And a real balance challenge. Come on all the way down if you can. Bringing your belly right to the top of the left leg. Looking down at the floor. Yoo-hoo! And come on up. Woo! All right, let me get a drink. And we're going to go back down to our backs. Okay. Oh, if you want, can do a little spinal rocking here. I would just be very, very cautious if you do this. It feels great, but I don't want you to compromise your neck in any way. So I just start out really slow, just bringing my legs up to the ceiling. Some of you guys are risk takers. You can bring your feet all the way over your head. I'm not going to do that, but this feels really great. You can kind of lean to the right to get the right side of your spine, and then lean to the left to get the left side of your spine. Okay. And let's do another challenge. Oh, we didn't do the plank challenge. Well, we'll do that next time. So keep the soles of your feet on the floor. Straighten up, okay? We don't want to be like this. Okay, straighten up. See if you can get down without lifting your feet off the floor. Now you have to go really slow. Don't cheat. You can't go fast. Okay, so we're sort of laying our sacral chakra. I couldn't go. I kind of skipped over the lumbar spine. I'm on my thoracic spine now. Come on all the way down. Bring the soles of the feet toward the buttocks. Flatten out your shoulders. Feel your back on the mat. Now, a lot of our lung tissue is in the back. So just take a moment here to really breathe as if you could breathe into that back part of your lungs. Noticing the abdomen rise and fall here. And then beginning to do some pelvic tilts. So when we move the spine in this fashion, we're alternately flexing and extending that lumbar spine, so the lowest level of the vertebrae. I forgot how many there are, there may be 5 or 7. And the spine loves this. This is great for posture, great for flexibility. And then come to neutral. Make sure your chest is open, your shoulders are really flat on the mat. And as we exhale, you're gonna lift up into bridge, let your chin and chest meet. Don't move your head in this position. Feel the quads, press into the bottoms of your feet, lift those quads up, and then really slowly hitting all the acupressure points in the back. Roll down from the cervical spine, through the thoracic spine, to the lumbar spine, and then the waist and the buttocks. Let's do that one more time. On an inhale, press into the feet. For those of you whose shoulders work, you can clasp your hands underneath. You can put a block under your sacrum for supported bridge. This is a great mini inversion, really good for the legs, really good for the quadriceps. Engage the glutes. Keep breathing, don't stop breathing. Let your head be stationary. Keep the knees almost touching. And then again, very mindfully and purposefully roll on down. Get that thoracic spine. Tip that tailbone up a little bit. Get that lumbar spine and then balance the sacrum. Let your knees fall out to the side. Passive stretch for the inner thighs. Take a couple of breaths right here. And then bring the knees together. Engage the lower back. So the whole back is on the mat. There's no scoop under here, under the lower back. Lift the legs to 90 degrees. And you can either do this with both toes at once or one at a time. The challenge is to keep that back flat on the mat. So since we didn't do our plank challenge, we'll do a little ab work right here. You choose what you want to do. I'm flexing my feet and putting my heel down. And all my attention really is on my lower back. Because if you let that lower back come off the mat, you're not using your abdominals, okay? So targeting the abdominals, making sure our core is nice and strong so that we're very, very stable in whatever we do. Do as many of these as you want or as many as you can, okay? Usually my lower back starts talking to me, and that's when I know I have to stop. You can just barely hit the mat with your heel or your toe, doesn't matter which one. The most important thing is to keep your back down. Let's do one more on each side or 2 more if you're doing them together. Okay. And bring the soles of the feet down, let the knees come out to the side again. Couple of breaths here. And our favorite, bring the knees again up to 90. Shins are parallel with the floor. Bring the knees over to the side, doesn't matter which one, left or right. I've got my knees to the right. My right hand is on my left thigh. Both shoulders on the mat. Your gaze can be out to the left if your left arm is out, or up to the ceiling. Stay here for 3 rounds of breath. And using your abdominal muscles, bring the legs back to center. Reset yourself and then go to the opposite side, nice and gently. Deep twist. The more your legs are bent, the deeper the twist. Don't bring your knees all the way down to the floor if your shoulder lifts up. You want that shoulder on the mat so you can get that twist. Straighten the legs a little bit or put a blanket or a block underneath. And nice deep breaths, heading toward final meditation, heading toward Shavasana. Three rounds of breath. And bringing the knees up, just rocking back and forth or doing whatever stretches feel good for you right now. And choosing a position for your final meditation, whether it's Shavasana or legs up the wall. And just a reminder, and I'll probably send out an email as well, there'll be no live yoga next Thursday morning. If you want to, there's a few yoga classes up on our YouTube channel, The Villages Yoga. If you go to YouTube and search for it. So let's take time to integrate the observations, the lessons that we've learned from our practice. Coming into a comfortable position and just resisting the urge to start planning your next activity. Okay? Resisting the urge to start planning your next activity as we lie in final meditation. Taking this time again to understand the observations and the lessons that we've learned from our practice today, and being mindful of how our yoga is impacting our lives. So just observe your breath. As you inhale, bring your awareness to the crown chakra. Feel the white radiant light of the crown chakra entering the head, the face, and let the head and face relax. As you inhale, feel the indigo blue of the third eye chakra opening, swirling, relaxing the forehead, the cheeks, the jaw as you exhale. Inhaling, feeling the throat chakra open with the blue ball of energy swirling in the throat. As you exhale, the throat, the chest, and the tops of the shoulders relax. Inhale and feel the emerald green of the Anahata, the heart chakra, filling the chest, the arms, the palms of your hands. As you exhale, feel the chest and the arms, hands grow heavy, warm, and relaxed. As you inhale, feel the solar plexus chakra open with its yellow energy. Exhaling, the upper abdomen, the back, spreads onto the floor, letting gravity bring you closer and closer to the earth. Inhaling, feeling the orange ball of energy in the sacral chakra, swirling in the abdomen. Exhaling, letting the abdomen soften and release, letting the buttocks release and spread on the floor. Inhaling, imagine the root chakra with thick red roots into the center of the earth, grounding you, centering you. Exhaling, let the legs and the feet and the hips relax onto the floor. Observing the body, observing the breath. Breathing in and out, just noticing. Start to deepen your breath. Come back into your body. Begin stretching and increasing your awareness of the space around you. Getting ready for another day. Picking up where you left off this morning. Let's come to a seated position if you're ready, and inhaling the arms up nice and slow, opening the armpits, bringing the palms together if you can do that. Just floating those palms right down to the heart center. Nice gentle pressure. Press those palms together. Maybe look down at your fingertips. And give thanks. Give thanks for all we have. And I certainly thank you for coming to yoga today, for supporting our practice and our yoga community. It's always my pleasure to lead your practice. Namaste.